guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something that I've always really wanted to do, and I filmed them, but then I feel like they're not good enough, so I just disregard them. But today I'm gonna go all in for it, and it is a cooking video because if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I really enjoy cooking, and I even post things like cooking with Kat. And so this time I kind of want to share it with you guys, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it turns out great. I haven't looked at it yet because I just finished doing everything, but I think that they're going to be really great because these are things that whenever I was in college and with my college's paper, I got like my own section in the paper for it, and it was called Kat's Corner, and it was really great, and I had different like treats and stuff. Like 2 of them were featured in the newspaper article, so I'm glad to be giving that to you guys. And there's something else that I never really like did before, and I think it was fairly easy. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let's get into the video. For this first treat, you're going to need some pumpkin puree, some vanilla pudding, some Cool Whip or whipped cream, cookies of your choice. I chose apple crumble, a can opener for your pumpkin puree, and a bowl, and of course something to mix it with. Also, you will need a cup and a spoon. But what all I'm doing is I'm just dumping out the pumpkin puree into a bowl and adding my spices. I use cinnamon, but you can put in some vanilla extract if you want to, or anything else you use for pumpkin pies. And then you'll just start putting in the vanilla pudding with the pumpkin puree. And I found it simpler to just get the instant pudding or like the snack pack pudding instead of making your own pudding and then putting it in there, because that's just a lot of work, and I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. And you're going to start to just mix it all together. I used a whisk and then shortly realized that whisk isn't going to work, so I switched to a spoon. You're going to just start covering everything and mixing it together, and make sure you fold it because you might miss some spots. Next, you're going to start putting the cookie crumble in, and just break the cookies up, and it doesn't matter how many you put in because it's to your likings. And you're going to start layering it with the cookies, whipped cream, and the pumpkin puree mixture. Or you can put it however you want to because it's yours and you're the one that's going to eat it. Or if you have it for a party, you can have the people make it themselves so they can have it however they feel like they want it to go. But I did the cookies, whipped cream, and then the pumpkin puree because the color contrast, because the cookies are kind of dark and I didn't want it to be dark, light. So I did dark, light, medium, whatever pumpkin color, orange I guess, tan. But it's up to you because it's yours and you're the boss of the food that you want to eat and how you want it to look decorative wise. And once you finish decorating your puree, all you have to do is like fix it up however you want to. I put a little bit extra pumpkin puree on top to make it like more full and photogenic, because of course you have to take pictures for Instagram, have to be super basic. Just kidding, you guys aren't basic, but I am. But all I did was do a little bit extra puree on top, whipped cream, and a little bit of cookie crumble on the very top, and it was really good actually. I was surprised, and I actually like didn't expect it to be this good because I don't like pumpkin pie like that. I do like pumpkin pie, don't hate me, but it was really good, and I tasted it, and that was like a genuine reaction to how it tasted in my opinion. So it was thumbs up of approval. I liked it. Okay, so for these cookies, you're going to need the Halloween Pillsbury Holiday Cookies because it's Halloween time. Some vanilla frosting, white actually, and then you'll need some food coloring. And all you're going to do is follow the instructions on the back of the cookie box because you just need to put them in and let them bake real quick. And then you'll take the cookies out of the oven and put them on a cooling rack. As you can see, I kind of busted one of the cookies. I don't know how, but he got busted, but he was great, and I ate him, and he was delicious. And then you're going to get your frosting and start putting it in a bowl because you're going to start to make the filling for the cookie center because it's an Oreo. And of course, the center is the best part. And you're just going to put all of your frosting, or even like half of it, depending on how many cookies you're making. But just put some of the frosting into the bowl and then start adding your food coloring in. And however dark you want it to be is up to you. I kind of want mine to be like not the same as the Halloween Oreo ones, like the darkness of the frosting, but like close to it. But I had to use maybe like 3 or 4 drops of the food coloring. And I think maybe because I used a gel food coloring instead of like the liquid food coloring, it was different. But I don't even think they make orange like the liquid food coloring, so I don't really know about that. But I just mixed all the frosting and the food coloring in, and I kind of had to melt it a little bit because it was too thick. Not too thick, but like I think it might have dried out a little bit. And so I just put it in the microwave for a few seconds to make it thinner, and then it makes it a lot easier. And I put it in a bag and start piping it. And all you need to do for whenever you're assembling the cookie is flip them over on the face side so that the bottom and burnt side is facing you or facing up, I guess. And all you're going to do is get your frosting and you're just going to pipe it, put as much frosting as you feel like it till your heart desires. I don't really care how much frosting you put. I'm not a frosting person really, and I didn't eat these because I made them for my sisters. But you can just put however much frosting you want and get creative with it. You can like make a design with it, or like a little swirly snake, something like some crosses, an X. I don't know what they're called, the little like star thing with the circle around it, like the witch thing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't really. Let me stop. But just put as much frosting as you want. You can eat the frosting when you're finished. It doesn't really matter because you and your sugar rush, go for it. But once you finish with the frosting, you're just going to sandwich the cookies together and enjoy them. And once you finish sandwiching your cookies, you can enjoy them. What I did personally is I got 2 of the different cookies and I put them together so that they have different faces on each side. And I did these with my kids at work, and they really loved them, and it was a fun way to teach them about fall. Okay, so for this last one, you will need a blender of any sort. I used a NutriBullet. Some cream soda, any kind works perfectly fine. Some marshmallow fluff, again, any kind works fine. Some ice cream, that is vanilla. Some caramel syrup. I needed to use butterscotch, but I couldn't find any. And you'll also need some rum extract, butter extract, and vanilla extract. But all you're going to do is put in your cream soda with a little bit of ice in your blender. I forgot to add that in also. And then you'll start adding in your ice cream. I started off with a little half cup of ice cream, but you can put more if you have more people or less, because it made a little bit more than a cup. So it depends on however much you want or how much you're making for. But just put that in your blender, and then you can add in your rum, vanilla, and butter extract, and use maybe about a half a teaspoon of this stuff because it is kind of powerful. And if you're an adult, you can actually use real rum, but if you're a kid, just stick with the extract because it's just as great. And all you're going to do is blend that stuff up, blend it, and make sure you blend it kind of well because there is ice chunks in it, and you don't want it to be like that crunchy, like slushy material, not material, but like consistency. So just make sure you blend it pretty well and get all the ice chunks out before you serve it to anybody. And then you're just going to pour it in your cup. I have a Harry Potter cup, but I did not know where it was for this video, so I just used this plain cup. And it doesn't matter what kind of cup you use. The cup is a cup. And then all you're going to do is start making your topping, your whipped topping, I guess. And you will put in your marshmallow fluff in a bowl. And I feel like marshmallow fluff is a lot easier than buying marshmallows and then trying to melt them because that's just like a huge mess. And marshmallows tend to burn whenever you put them in the microwave. But get the marshmallow fluff and the caramel. And if you have the butterscotch, you can use that instead of the caramel, but it works just the same. But just mix that up to give it that like butterscotchy taste to it. Because if you had real butterbeer, you know that it has like a more butterscotchy taste than a caramely taste. But they works the same way. It tastes just as good. And it's very, very messy. I will not lie to you. The stuff is super messy and it'll get all over your fingers. But again, when you're cooking, it's always fun to make a mess because if you don't make a mess, then you're not doing it right. Like, thumbs up if you agree with this. And that's it. And again, these reactions are like A1 because I make this stuff all the time, especially for my sister's parties and stuff, or whenever I have a gathering and it's fall time. And I love butterbeer. Okay guys, so how did you like the video? Because I think it went really great. Let me know if you guys like this kind of thing, because I really do enjoy cooking. Like when I was little, my parents had to go and hide anytime they wanted to go into the kitchen because I would be teetering right behind them with my little tiny stubby feet. They're like this big. But I really enjoyed this video. I feel like I did a really good job on it, especially since it's my first one that I actually filmed by myself. So I really do, like, I keep repeating myself, but I really do hope you guys like this. And I want to start a fall series because I feel like it's fun. It's fall. It's technically fall. Not yet. I think it's like the 21st, but it'll be fall in a few days. But even though like I do live in southern Georgia and it's like 80 something degrees outside, I'm wearing a cardigan over here, but I want to be in the fall spirit because my soul says it's fall, so it's fall. The leaves are kind of changing. You know, we did just have a hurricane. Shout out to Irma for messing everything up. And if you guys were involved with Irma, I do hope you guys are okay, because I got hit by Irma and it wasn't too bad. Like a lot of people did like lose their houses because I do live right on the water. But people lost their houses and it was awful and devastating to look at. So if you got hit by Irma, my heart does go out to you guys. Like, be safe, have faith in yourself and anything you guys are doing to get your health back to where it needs to be. If you guys like want to talk about it, like feel free to message me, because I'm here. I am a part of like the coast, so I get hit by any kind of storm of water sorts. But they're just saying that, like, my heart does go out to you guys. And again, I'm repeating myself, but that was something, it happened last week. Like, we were out of work and school for just about an entire week also. But the people who did lose all of their stuff, they were gone for much longer. But I want to get back on a happier subject because I'm going to start crying and mess up my makeup. But I do hope you guys really did enjoy this video. Let me know what kind of other fall videos you want me to do. I did ask my students what they thought, and they gave me some really good ideas, so I will incorporate those, because why not? Like, a lot of young people watch my videos. Like my sister, she's in middle school, and she was telling me last night about how a lot of her friends are like, oh my gosh, like, Jessica, your sister's videos are so cool. Like, I love them. And I'm like, yeah, get likes by middle schoolers, but hey, it's something. Like, I'm proud of it. I'm glad they like it because I like it. And who knows, it might help somebody out later on. Maybe they want to start their own channel. But I'm glad I talked to you guys for a little bit, and I'm going to go because I have a game to get ready for. So, talk to you later. Bye.